Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Bitcoin. I'm recording these a little bit earlier. I mean, it's 7:30 in the morning right now. I'm running my first marathon today, so for those of you who are interested, it's going to be fun. It's quite exciting, but that means that I'm starting quite early, so I'm making these videos earlier as well. So hopefully you can adjust with me on the schedule. But we're going to do a full update on Bitcoin. I mean, obviously it's weekend markets, right? So not much has happened. We also did not see many remarks regarding the markets. I mean, I think there's some escalation in the situation in the Middle East, to keep it broad, but ultimately, like, is that really affecting the markets? I don't think so. And if we very much zoom into Bitcoin right here, you can see that over the course of the last 24 hours, I mean, is there is there any movement in the price right here? I would argue no. All right, so we're very much subject to two things, and that is, first of all, how the Asian market will open at the end of the day, and what news we will get. The news so far, like if we talk about the news we've had last, and we did a brief recap of that yesterday as well, of course. It was decent, right? We actually ended the week with unrest slash volatility index and gold decreasing, which is generally good, and we also saw some more stability for equities. So we actually ended on a positive note, and nothing so far, at least over the course of this weekend. Obviously, we're only halfway past or halfway through the weekend, but throughout the weekend, nothing has happened to really go against that. But the question, like the main technical question for Bitcoin, and I really went into depth about that in my middle of the day market update yesterday. In my market update yesterday, we really spoke about the bull and bear case for Bitcoin and for the altcoin markets as well. But like Bitcoin, the key thing that we need to see right now is that this is some sort of a false deviation, aka a fake out below this consolidation. I mean, you could argue that Bitcoin has just formed some sort of a consolidation right here, and that, beautiful by the way, and that this is just some sort of a false deviation before we reclaim that, and we can potentially at least, you know, get into this level right here at 118,000, which is the value area high of that range. And we also have the point of control. And very often what at least happens when you deviate below the range and you reclaim back into that, you at least see a move into the point of control. All right, so that would be the first price target. But the question is, well, can we do that? And I would say purely technically, there is a possibility. I mean, if you look at this price action we've had right here on Friday, like there are some bullish divergences in there. There's also some bullish divergences right here. If you compare Thursday to Friday, you could make an argument if you go if you go Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, right? So if you I know that was the other Friday. Like you can make some sort of an argument that this was a 3 drive pattern. Which is not completely true, but there is a bullish divergence at least between Thursday and Friday with lower volume with that move down, and also I think the RSI also made a higher low right there. So that is positive. You can also see quite a lot of volume went into testing that same level over the course of Friday. So there was also, like, when equities actually started to push down quite aggressively on Friday, and Bitcoin held up. So that's relatively positive, right? Purely technically, that's relatively positive. Fundamentally, we also ended on a positive note. So I definitely do think we have a realistic possibility to reclaim that level at 108 and 109,000. That's the minimum we have to reclaim. But I will still remain neutral, right? And I've been that way basically for the last week, all right? There were some times where I was a little bit more bullish and sometimes where I was a little bit more bearish. And maybe I'm a little bit more bullish right now, but it's really not by a wide margin. I mean, it depends on the fundamentals. It depends on how we open next week. And I'll be ready for both reclaiming this level and getting a move into those point of controls. I'll be ready for this. But on the other hand, at this point of time, I'm becoming ready a little bit more for the fact that this is a real breakdown and that we are going to drop down a little bit lower into 101,000 first of all, but possibly into 97,000 afterwards. So I would say the best thing to do right now is to be prepared for this scenario and make sure to switch bias quick enough if we get a convincing reclaim of 108 and 109,000. Those are my thoughts. I think that's the best advice you can get right now. So we'll end on that. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you all in my next videos. Have a good Sunday and bye.